Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel, and in our top stories today from CNN, Chicago braces for federal immigration enforcement operation while Trump criticizes local officials. And of course, these blue cities are continuing to fight back because, of course, they have to. The Democrats have to look as though they are resisting Donald Trump, or else their constituents, the activists, the rioters, and even the criminals may turn against them. So let's see what CNN has to say. Officials in Chicago are bracing for a major federal immigration enforcement operation that could begin as soon as this week, with the city's mayor signing an order over the weekend aimed at resisting the Trump administration's planned crackdown. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker said Sunday such a move would be an invasion and that he had no communication with the Trump administration about reported plans to send National Guard troops to Chicago. No one in the administration, the president or anyone under him, has called anyone in my administration or me. So it's clear that in secret, they're planning this. Well, it's an invasion with U.S. troops if they, in fact, do that, Pritzker said Sunday. And here's the thing, of course, is they're trying to suggest that, Trump is not working with local PD. And we're going to get into that here in a moment as I play some clips for you. Here we're going to start off from Eric Doherty. Huge news.
Breaking news now, there is word from Washington that the Trump administration is planning to conduct a major immigration enforcement operation right here in Chicago. Sources confirmed to CBS News that could include armored trucks, federal troops, and ICE agents flooding the city. This morning, city leaders briefed a group of reporters, including CBS News Chicago investigator Megan DeMar. She is with me now to talk about this plan and what you learned.
Right, so multiple sources tell us that expected deployment is expected by next Friday, September 5th. Now, Mayor Johnson said they've heard the same reports, but about ICE agents, about possible deployment of National Guards, but they haven't had any direct communication from the federal government.
Well, here's the thing. Even when they do have direct communication, because they are aware that Donald Trump is doing this. So, again, this is just their language, their strategy to always make it look as though Trump is not following their rules or their procedures, or he's not following procedures in general, or even the Constitution and these sorts of things. But this isn't happening, right, in secret as they try to outline it. No, it's obvious. We can see what's happening in D.C., and Trump wants to continue this process. He's mentioned it, which is why they're resisting in the first place. So it's not difficult for people to understand what's actually happening here. And here's Caroline Leavitt that she said the other day. So here's a clip from that.
The city is preparing for a potential National Guard presence and increase in federal immigration enforcement that could reportedly ramp up in the coming days. But the state's governor, J.B. Pritzker, has promised all week that he will fight back.
What we want most of all is for Donald Trump to help us to fight crime with civilian law enforcement. We'd love to have more ATF agents help us take guns off the streets. We'd love to have more FBI agents to help us to track down perpetrators of crime. But we don't welcome troops to the city of Chicago. We do not welcome troops to the state of Illinois.
Okay, so here's the point. You guys know this because you're shrewd, you're aware, you're cognizant of what's going on. And that is, as we mentioned earlier and before, or as I mention almost daily, the Democrats appear to be pro-criminal. And we see this, or have been seeing it, since the beginning of the year, or essentially since Donald Trump has been inaugurated. But this goes all the way back, as we mentioned before, all the way back to Trayvon Martin, and the Obama administration and the left and the establishment trying to undermine the police because, of course, they were, at the time they were saying there was racial profiling and so forth and so on. And so for many years, they have been trying to undermine the police departments. But as he says here, more ATF, more FBI, and these sorts of agencies. Of course, these were agencies that the Democrats were completely in control of, as we have mentioned here many times. And so what he's trying to do here is he's trying to instigate the fact that Trump is sending in these troops as though they can't handle the situation. But he had to specifically say that they welcomed it because, of course, the Democrats were starting to look as though they were pro-criminal. And we know this going back to 𝐀𝐦𝐚𝐳𝐨𝐽 and they seek a gag order from the federal government. His attorney cited remarks from Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, Attorney General Pam Bondi, and posts from the Department of Homeland Security. So in other words, they're trying to shut everyone up about who he really is. And here's what's fascinating, is CBS complied with that. And I'm going to play this. I'm going to have to censor part of it because of the vile description that is in this. So bear with me as I play it. You can see the two distinctive recordings, and they always request a full recording. Most of these individuals, when they go on news media, they request the full recording. So I will have to edit it because of its description of minors.
And the one thing that we will continue to do is to make sure that he doesn't walk free in the United States of America. This individual was a known human smuggler, a MS-13 gang member, an individual who was a wife beater, and someone who was so
perverted that he was requesting certain things from minors. So I'm going to skip all of that because it's disgusting. And then you can see her response to how even the cartel or the gang members responded to it.
Even his fellow human traffickers told him to knock it off. He was so sick in what he was doing and how he was treating small children. So he needs to never be in the United States of America, and our administration is making sure we're doing all that we can to bring him to justice. And the one thing that we will continue to do...
And so you can see here how they edit it. And it's a constant battle. And this isn't a mystery to anybody here, because Donald Trump has sued CBS over the interview with Kamala Harris. You may recall that. And, of course, the slander that ABC had on him about E.G. and Carroll. You may remember that as well. They were sued for $15 million, and then George Stephanopoulos has to pay another $1 million. So they're continuing this protective mindset now. So now, of course, and I see this all the time across my social media, they're constantly saying that Trump is not following the Constitution, and in reality he is. Because, of course, as we covered this week, they were trying to stop Donald Trump yet again with court orders. And of course, this will go to the Supreme Court and it'll be shut down. So it's just stopgaps, as we all know here. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you guys across NewTek, BitChute, and Rumble for your guys' continued support. Do you support what Donald Trump is doing to help these cities out? I mean, even the left in D.C., the ones that don't always want to admit it, but some of the ones that do come out say it is safer, that they like the environment. They can ride the subway. They can go to restaurants. They can go to parks. They can go to places in D.C. where they were more concerned about going to. And as of right now, I don't know how many days it is total, there has not been a homicide. So these processes work, and Donald Trump said he's a law and order president, and that's what he wants to do. So you guys let me know down in the comments section if you approve of a lot of this or if you think there should be a different approach to it. But for me personally, I think it's amazing. I think it illustrates exactly what Donald Trump is doing. He is always in the doing process, and that's the thing that a lot of the Democrats can't keep up with him. The left can't keep up with him. He does so much. The only thing they can do is generalize, criticize, and be sideline critics because he's doing so much. He has done more, I think, at least in the last 7 months, than any presidents or our presidents have done during their 2 terms. It's absolutely amazing. But nonetheless, guys, thank you so much for your continued support. All of you guys on BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey. And below this video, you can find the various social media links that I belong to include my affiliate marketing. That would be Amazon. So if you order frequently from Amazon or a Prime member, you can use my landing page link safely. And speaking of safely while you're online, TrustZone, my favorite VPN, gets straight to the point and a great usage of a VPN out there. All kinds of things you can do with them. But nonetheless, guys, thank you so much for your continued support. Appearing there on the screen for all of you watching on YouTube specifically, that'll be the channel icon. You guys can click on that to subscribe, as well as to select notification. That way you know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys in the next video.